Small business is very, it's an exciting time due to technology and things of that nature and manufacturing improving and the whole I need it today kind of process and the analytics. So it's a very good time. Nothing like 5 years ago when it had way more challenges.
You're teaming up with Chase to do some advice to small businesses. What's the simplest fix that you can give broader small businesses that they all still kind of seem to make?
Well, they usually overspend, in different areas. Money often can highlight your weaknesses. If you have a poor advertising campaign or you don't have the right community or, you have poor manufacturing, you're just going to spend and have more of the poor, the same poor stuff. I think that right now building a community online and digital and social media conversion, that's really important. And that's how you really find your community. I used to have a focus group. Now it's right here where your phone is. So that's why I'm doing a live Twitter chat with Chase for Small Biz Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I'm giving more advice on that as well.
What's their biggest complaint or challenge right now? Because, I mean, you say it's better than 5 years ago, but you still hear about how, banks aren't that willing to lend or financing or going up against these huge dominant companies that seem to be able to get into every other business.
I think the biggest challenge is finding young talent. I think the digital divide is, creating a lot of challenges for small business. Also, the cost of, employment and healthcare. So now people are really trying to go virtual, virtual assistants, virtual this, virtual that. But the younger generation, they don't want to work for anybody, right? Because they know they have the power to employ themselves now. So finding young talent, young community, and bridging the digital divide with the more mature talent that really knows actually what to do is the biggest challenge they have.
So how much of your focus and your investments right now have to do with retail, which is your background, and that's sort of how I think of you, and how much are you expanding?
Probably about 40% has to do with retail because of all the great companies that I have coming on Shark Tank, but the ones that are really exploding more than anybody, like my guys at Bombas Socks, don't sell directly to retail. They came on, they were doing $800,000 a year. Now I think they're going to do $100 million a year selling directly to the consumer. So right about 40%, but retail is really being compressed. So you're either going to sell discount goods or open up your own retail outlet or retail store and sell luxury goods.
We've been talking a lot today about the trade war with China and the way that weighs on sentiment. For small and medium-sized businesses that you invest in, is it a factor or is it only a small consideration?
No, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them. Listen, at the end of the day, in my business, I can only speak about my business. I'm not an economist. I'm not a trade expert. But, 20% net is really what you're going to make. And, if you're going to increase 25% on the cost of goods, that's going to affect me about anywhere from 8 to 10%. And that's a big challenge. But, personally, I don't want to build more factories over here in America because, honestly, I don't want to pollute this country the way you ever go to Beijing. It is horrible over there. So we're going to have, the cost of goods are going to be more over here. And our kids are going to be glowing, and I just don't like the whole trade thing because I just think that we're going to be forced to build manufacturing over here. And we're going to end up having everybody like the Hudson River that everybody dumped in over the years when we were manufacturing here.
Not to mention it's more expensive.
It's going to be more expensive, of course, because the wages cost more here. Medical again and everything else, and I don't think it's a good idea.
What's working in retail right now? Everyone's trying to figure this out. Department stores still can't get it right. Some of the brands are kind of, attaching themselves to good influencers. I think that's been a big story.
Influencers are good. Anybody who has a retail presence, in the stores, in the brick and mortar, and an online presence. I mean, I think Nike does a really excellent job of being able to do both, service a mass crowd as well as service one individual that wants one type of shoe.